Episode 56 HF August 10, 2023. UK's Drax. Template letter to UK Councillor PACT Act. Hawaii wildfires. United Kingdom. RAWSEP view, displacing solid fossil fuel coal use with the more polluting solid fuel wood source inevitably results in more pollution than coal burning. Wood burning emits more CO2 and PM2.5 than coal burning. Carbon capture has never worked, despite decades of expensive, futile research paid for by taxpayer subsidies. Pie graph, Drax produces only 5%, yellow slice, of the UK 100% energy generation pie. Drax's biomass, wood burning, plant is the single largest CO2 emitting power plant in the UK, responsible for 12.1 metric tons of CO2 while generating only 5% of UK energy. This article says the UK will continue to support polluting biomass, wood burning, power plants and expensive and futile carbon capture, BECCS, research with taxpayer subsidies. Carbon Pulse bills itself as news and intelligence on carbon markets, greenhouse gas pricing, and climate policy, so it probably supports polluting biomass, wood burning, plant subsidies. A subscription is required to read articles on Carbon Pulse website. UK vows tougher sustainability tests for wood-burning power plants. Carbon Pulse. Carbon Pulse. UK vows tougher sustainability tests for wood-burning power plants. August 10, 2023. UK vows tougher sustainability tests for wood-burning power plants. The UK government signalled Thursday it will continue to support biomass energy production albeit under stricter sustainability tests, but did not spell out how it would subsidise utility Drax's BECCS plans. Drax given biomass boost but support comes with strings. City AM. https://www.citym.com Drax given biomass boost dash. City AM is a free business-focused newspaper distributed in and around London, England, with an accompanying website. In 2023, it had a monthly online readership between 1.8 m and 2 m and print circulation of 67,714. August 10, 2023. Drax has been given a fresh boost for its biomass ambitions by the government, but there are set to be strict strings attached. The government has paved the way to funding biomass, involving burning renewable sources such as wood, beyond its current subsidy regimes. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. However, there are strings attached, with a new report calling for medium to long-term funding and developments to be tied to its green credentials. The government has told Drax that its energy production must be balanced out by biomass carbon capture technologies, known as BECCS, to contain emissions. Climate Minister Graham Stewart considered the power source's potential to be extraordinary for providing low-carbon energy across transport, heat, and electricity. In the report's forward, Graham Stewart said, it can deliver low-carbon energy, displace fossil fuel use in materials, and produce negative emissions when combined with carbon capture and storage. The government will continue to support new biomass projects with sustainability rules established in 2018, which Drax has passed for its projects. However, more stringent sustainability criteria will be established through an upcoming consultation, which will likely impose carbon capture requirements on projects. When approached for comment, a government spokesperson said, when used carefully, sustainable biomass is a potential alternative to fossil fuels for power, heating, and transport. Drax is currently the UK's largest operator of biomass generation, burning imported wood pellets from overseas to power 4 generating units at its flagship power station in North Yorkshire. The project missed early approval from the government in its first stage process, and has not yet been shortlisted for its second stage either, with offshore projects in the Humber region and Scotland so far preferred. The government plans to deliver 5 million metric tons of carbon removals by the end of the decade, which could increase to 23 metric tons by 2035 and up to 81 metric tons by 2050, when BECCS is expected to provide the majority of the total in 2050. Biomass generation is considered a renewable energy source by the government, because new trees are planted to replace old ones used in sourcing wood. Overall, Drax's biomass power plant is responsible for around 11% of the UK's renewable power, but only 5% of the UK's overall power generation. However, recapturing the carbon from wood pellets takes decades. It also produces high emissions of carbon dioxide per unit of energy, rivaling fossil fuels, with Drax's biomass plant the single largest CO2-emitting power plant in the UK, responsible for 12.1 metric tons of CO2 according to climate analyst Ember. Drax reported profits of £731 million in 2022, up from £398 million in 2021 as it cashed in on soaring power prices. Collectively, it has received £6 billion in green energy subsidies from British taxpayers over the last 4 decades, including £617 million last year. Its current subsidy arrangements with the government conclude in 2027. Drax's share price has risen 1.43% in this afternoon's trading on the London Stock Exchange. United States. RAWSEP view. Perhaps the template letter outlining how to communicate with a councillor in the United Kingdom could be adapted to be a template letter to the 10 U.S. Assistant Attorney Generals and/or Deputy Attorney Generals and 1 General Counsel threatening to sue the EPA to provide clarity about wood stove certification for wood stove vendors. To address the potential lawsuit, the email should be sent before August 24, 2023. Adapt the subject matter to the United States. You can email all the Assistant Attorney Generals, Deputy Attorney Generals and General Counsel although you are not their state constituent. By threatening to sue the EPA, 11 individuals are tackling a subject that affects everyone in the United States, and in that way you are their constituent. Dear Councillor, insert councillor name. I am one of your constituents living on, insert street/road name. I'm writing to let you know that I'm very concerned about air pollution in, insert name of your area, and I wanted to ask what you are doing to deliver cleaner air for our area. For example, let's not miss the chance to clean up London's air through the ultra-low emission zone expansion. If you have any personal stories or reflections linked to why you care about air pollution, please share them. It might help to include some detail on the wider impacts of air pollution in case they are unaware. We've shared some options to choose below. Air pollution is the biggest environmental health risk, causing 36,000 deaths each year in the UK. Cleaning up our air is good for us in many ways. It not only benefits our physical health and the environment but can also protect our mental and brain health. Air pollution affects you from your first breath to your last, as the damage to our health can start in the womb and carry on through into old age. Exposure to high levels of air pollution can cause a range of health impacts, including damaging lung function, triggering asthma, increasing blood pressure, and increasing lung and heart-related hospital admissions and deaths. I would like to ask you what policies you are specifically supporting or implementing to limit the amount of air pollution from home burning in the community. I also wanted to check what plans, insert name of council, has for this year's Clean Air Day on June 15, 2023. You could let them know if there is an activity you would like to see on the day. Perhaps an event, a school street, or information shared locally. Best wishes. Insert name. United Kingdom, template letter to councillors asking, on Clean Air Day June 15, 2023, what policies the councillor is specifically supporting or implementing to limit the amount of air pollution from home burning in the community? https://www.cleanairhub.org.uk/clean-air-information/the-basic-information/wood-burners?FBC-lid=. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Burning wood creates pollution inside and outside the home, which is dangerous for our health and the environment. Many people are unaware of the negative impacts of wood burning, even when using the most eco-friendly stoves or ready-to-burn wood. Evidence shows that it tends to be the wealthiest who use wood burners in cities, yet everyone, including the most vulnerable, experiences the consequences in neighboring homes and communities. Wood burners and open fires are the second biggest source of small particle air pollution in the UK. Even homes with eco-wood burners are 3 times more polluted than those without. Wood burners and open fires produce more harmful PM2.5 than road transport in the UK. The more PM2.5 pollution you are exposed to, the more likely you are to die from cardiopulmonary disease or lung cancer. Make your voice heard for #CleanAirDay. Email your councillor and ask for change. Write to your councillor. Councillors have the power to bring in measures that will improve air quality, and we need to show support for this. On Clean Air Day, we will be calling for councillors to respond to their community's concerns about clean air. Make sure they know how important it is to you. We've made it as easy as possible to contact your local councillor for Clean Air Day and ask them what they are doing to bring cleaner air to your area. Start now by following the step-by-step instructions below. You may find it helpful to open Retetto them in a new tab. 1. Write your message. We have created a short template to share some ideas of what your letter could include, see below. However, if you can, please do share your own stories and reflections in the letter. It will make it feel more memorable and help the message stand out. Top tips. Introduce yourself. Councillors want to hear about the issues that concern their residents, so please do include your address and postcode. Follow up. Ask your councillor for a response, and forward it on to us when you get it. cleanerair@globalactionplan.org.uk. Say thank you. If your council are being brave on this topic, say thank you. We need bold politicians to tackle air pollution. 2. Send your message. Visit Write to Them to get the contact details of your local councillors and send your message. The instructions below will take you through the process step by step. On the Write to Them website, enter your postcode in the box provided. Choose Write to all your councillors. Write your message in the box provided. Write to Them will fill out the councillor names for you. Provide some information about yourself, then click the Preview and Send button. Review your message, edit some more if needed, and then click I'm happy, send it. That's it, you're done. Thank you for taking action for cleaner air in your community. Please share with your friends, family and neighbors. Together we can make a difference. Utah, Salt Lake City, PACT Act, Burn Pit Compensation, President Biden's first anniversary speech. Fact sheet. In first year, President Biden's bipartisan PACT Act delivers care for veterans in all 50 states and U.S. territories and advances unity agenda. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. 1 year ago today, President Biden signed the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics (PACT) Act into law, enacting the most significant expansion of benefits and services for toxic-exposed veterans in more than 30 years. Sometimes military service can result in increased health risks for our veterans, and some injuries and illnesses like asthma, cancer, and others can take years to manifest. These realities can make it difficult for veterans to establish a direct connection between their service and disabilities resulting from military environmental exposures such as burn pits. In the past year, the administration has helped veterans in every state and territory. VA has prioritized claims processing for veterans with cancer. VA has been able to expand its workforce. The Veterans Benefits Administration is now above 29,000 employees for the first time in history. All conditions in the PACT Act are presumptive for benefits as of August 10, 2022, the day the bill was signed into law. These historic efforts to address military toxic exposures build on the Biden-Harris administration's recent work to support our nation's veterans. From 2020 to 2022, there was an 11% decline in veteran homelessness. Reducing military and veteran suicide. Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7 by dialing 988 and then pressing 1. If you are a veteran, visit www.va.gov/PACT or go to your local VA hospital to see if you are eligible for PACT Act benefits and services. For a state-by-state breakdown of PACT Act data, click here. Wisconsin, Madison. https://www.amazon.com/fatal-isolation-devastating-paris-heat/dp/02266251111x/ref=. Richard Keller, Ph.D., a distinguished scholar of the social and historical dynamics of climate change and natural disasters, has become the next chair of the Department of Medical History and Bioethics at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Among other works, he has written the acclaimed book Fatal Isolation, The Devastating Paris Heat Wave of 2003. Published in 2015, Fatal Isolation examines a 2003 heatwave that persisted for weeks in Europe and killed 15,000 people in France alone, with many victims within the city and suburbs of Paris. The book explores the tensions between official state and media reports, individual stories of those who perished and the science behind the disaster and its management, highlighting comparisons and contrasts with other natural disasters. Hawaii. https://www.newyorktimes.com/live/2023/08/10/wildfires-maui-hawaii. Here's what to know about the Hawaii fires. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Officials were meeting to assess the damage and death toll Thursday morning on the devastated Hawaiian island of Maui, as tourists continued a grim exodus by bus and car to the airport and evacuation shelters. Survivors described fleeing for their lives from a fast-moving total inferno that left the historic town of Lahaina in smoking ruins. President Biden issued a major disaster declaration and offered condolences as the death toll stood at 36, making the fire one of the nation's deadliest in decades. https://www.newyorktimes.com/live/2023/08/09/us/wildfires-Maui-Hawaii. Hawaii wildfires. Rapidly moving wildfires kill 6 in Maui. August 9, 2023. The blazes on Maui, the second largest island in Hawaii, overwhelmed some residents so suddenly that they tried to flee by swimming into the Pacific Ocean. Thousands have evacuated. Fast-moving wildfires, which overwhelmed some residents so suddenly that they were forced to flee by swimming into the Pacific Ocean, have killed at least 6 people on the Hawaiian island of Maui, officials said, as crews searched on Wednesday for more victims. Blazes that intensified on Tuesday continued raging on Wednesday, exacerbated by gusty mountain winds amplified by Hurricane Dora, which was moving across the Pacific hundreds of miles to the south. Minnesota. EPA now wants Lampa furnaces to help fix testing woes. The Timber J. Regional. The Environmental Protection Agency, which shut down sales of Lampa Manufacturing's clean-burning wood furnaces nearly a year ago. PM2.5 and human health. Outdoor pollution exposure tied to non-lung cancers. Consumer Health News. Health Day. Consumer Health Day. Chan School of Public Health in Boston and colleagues examined associations of 10-year exposures to fine particulate matter, PM2.5, and nitrogen. Study shows link between air pollution and antibiotic-resistant pathogens. Greek reporter. Air pollution has been found to carry antibiotic-resistant bacteria and genes. New research highlights the potential connection between PM2.5. Particulate air pollution, a growing risk for premature CVD death and disability worldwide. Science Daily. November 2, 2021. The haze that blurs a blue sky or a beautiful skyline is caused by particulate matter, often made from pollution, less than 2.5 microns. Beginning to allow a complaint-based system for indoor residential wood-burning emissions in 2023 would allow a parallel track of 1. Flawed wood stove certification and 2. A complaint-based system for monitoring and eliminating polluting indoor wood stove emissions. Dr. Tony Fauci's innovative use of a government agency parallel track encompassing 1. AIDS clinical trials using AZT alongside 2. Allowing use of the experimental drug ganciclovir while conducting a clinical trial of AZT, was successful in saving lives while preventing blindness, for instance, in 1989. Most of the articles noted here are about the adverse effects of PM2.5 on human health. Wood smoke is 90% PM2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Indoor residential wood-burning emissions of PM2.5 cause health problems and early deaths for near neighbors. The hyperlocalized emissions from indoor wood-burning need to be monitored by $249 citizen scientist-owned Purple Air PM2.5 monitors, or Purple Air PM2.5 monitors handed out for free by the federal government or a health department. And if those wood-burning emissions that reach the yards and infiltrate the homes of near neighbors exceed National Ambient Air Quality Standards, NOx, for PM2.5 as a consequence of the wood-burning emissions from the stack of a nearby indoor residential wood burner, each wood-burning stove should be shut down because of violation of NOx standards of 35 micrograms PM2.5 per cubic meter in a 24-hour period, U.S. current standard, regardless of whether the wood stove in question is certified by the EPA. The Office of the Inspector General, OIG, watchdog of the EPA, stated in a February 2023 report that the U.S. EPA wood stove certification program is flawed and allows loopholes caused by the lobbying of the wood stove industry to result in many or most wood stoves certified actually being non-compliant with the EPA's own lax wood stove emission standards. The EPA emission standard, New Source Performance Standards, NSPS, for cordwood burning stoves is 2 grams PM2.5 emissions per hour. Cordwood is the type of wood most often used by indoor residential wood burners. If wood stoves actually were operated for 24 hours per day at 2 grams emissions of PM2.5 per hour, the first nearest neighbor at 20 feet away from the stack would experience PM2.5 at 89.3% above the allowed limit of PM2.5 NOx in a 24-hour period, and the second nearest neighbor at 80 feet away would experience PM2.5 at 10.5% above the allowed PM2.5 NOx in a 24-hour period. Which violation is more important for the EPA to note? Either that, 1. Through loopholes causing non-compliance, even certified wood stoves are overwhelmingly more polluting than the safe performance standards of EPA NSPS, or that 2. Certified wood stoves that meet the NSPS standards still emit pollution that affects near neighbors at levels exceeding NOx allowed by EPA standards. Solid fuels such as wood and coal inevitably emit particulates. Carbon capture after decades of research does not work, and is expensive to research. However, taxpayer subsidies to biomass, wood burning, plants and 4. Solid fuel burning, carbon capture research keep these inefficiently heating, wood burning plants, and futile, carbon capture, industries alive. The 10 assistant attorney generals threatening to sue the EPA to 1. Provide clarity to wood stove vendors, should instead 2. Ask the EPA to enact a complaint-based system of controlling wood stove emissions by use of near-neighbor-owned PM2.5 monitors, using PM2.5 data as evidence to shut down polluting indoor residential wood stoves, one by one if necessary. Purple Air PM2.5 monitors are already being used on US EPA AirNow maps of smoke and fire alongside $100,000 EPA PM2.5 monitors. Wood burning emits more PM2.5 and CO2 than the fossil fuel coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 of the fossil fuel natural gas burning. One of the EPA's responses to the 10 Assistant Attorney General's threat of a lawsuit is that the EPA will be unable to change NSPS for wood stoves until 2027, although the EPA is required by statute to change NSPS every 8 years, and since 2015 was the last change of NSPS. The EPA is required to change NSPS, probably to lower safe limits, in 2023, this year. Beginning to allow a complaint-based system for indoor residential wood burning emissions in 2023 would allow a parallel track of 1. Flawed wood stove certification and 2. A complaint-based system for monitoring and eliminating polluting indoor wood stove emissions. Dr. Tony Fauci's innovative use of a government agency parallel track encompassing 1. AIDS clinical trials alongside 2. Allowing use of one more experimental drug ganciclovir while conducting a clinical trial of AZT, was successful in saving lives while preventing blindness, for instance, in the case of a young man with AIDS in 1989. Emails of 10 Assistant Attorney Generals preparing to sue the EPA to provide clarity for indoor residential wood stove manufacturers, vendors, and users. Instead, the Assistant Attorneys General should ask for a complaint-based system in place of the failed wood stove certification program. The states involved are Alaska, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, as well as the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency. Contact emails for the 10 Assistant or Deputy Attorney Generals and a General Counsel are Cody.Doig@alaska.gov Alaska Senior Assistant Attorney General email, Cody Doig. Jason.James@ilag.gov Illinois Assistant Attorney General email, Jason James. Goldstein@oag.state.md.us Maryland Special Assistant Attorney General email, Stephen Goldstein. Turner.Smith@mass.gov Massachusetts Assistant Attorney General email, Turner Smith. Peter.Serto@ag.state.mn.us Minnesota Special Assistant Attorney General email, Peter Serto. Lisa.Morelli@law.njoag.gov New Jersey Deputy Attorney General email, Lisa Morelli. Nicholas.Batino@ag.newyork.gov New York Assistant Attorney General email, Nicholas Batino. Paul.Garahan@doj.state.or.us Oregon Attorney in Charge email, Paul Garahan, one of 2 or attorneys. Steve.Novick@doj.state.or.us Oregon Special Assistant Attorney General email, Steve Novick, one of 2 or attorneys. Nick.Persampieri@vermont.gov Vermont Assistant Attorney General email, Nick Persampieri. Caroline.Kress@atg.wa.gov Washington Assistant Attorney General email, Caroline Kress. Jennifer.Cleanair.gov General Counsel, Puget Sound Clean Air Agency, Jennifer A. Dold. A new icon has been added to the RAWSEP President's website, which is now the nearest right icon. The icon is an ask that has already been described in episode 56 GB, description of the parties who should be at the table when deciding on safe wood stove emission limits and fenceline measurements, rather than wood stove certification, and emails to contact 10 deputy or assistant attorney generals and 1 general counsel. Those PDFs are included at the icon link. Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, see https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com and click on the nearest right icon for the Ask. Contact 10 Attorneys General https://rawsepresident.wordpress.com/ Please contact Attorneys General about August suit versus E P A asking for certainty for wood stove users. RAWSEP asks for complaint-based sitem based on PM monitor data exceeding EP/. To the right of that Barbie goes to the dating game https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/1-barbie-goes-to-the-dating-game. To the right of that cookies that may contain rocks are recalled https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/cookies-that-may-contain-rocks-are-recalled. To the right of that the fox owns the forest card game https://rawsepresidents.wordpress.com/the-fox-owns-the-forest-card-game-tba. Then to the right of that, the latest months, August and July 2023, of PDFs of articles with URLs to search on https://1-august-2023-pdfs-of-urls and https://1-july-2023-pdfs-of-urls. To the right of that, stickers to hand out for RAWSEP, games such as 1. Bingo for RAWSEP, 2. Crosswords for RAWSEP, 3. PM2.5's Jeopardy free game https://u2.be/lnsg32pydnc 4. PM2.5 free Monopoly https://u2.be/cuck1pscqnq and Endwood Smoke Monopoly 5. Vending machines for PM2.5 monitors. And icon links to 30-minute YouTube videos and Spotify podcasts as well as podcasts.google.com, Castbox and Pocket Cast. Pocket Cast is only free on the phone app. Pocket Cast works on Apple phones, and, below those icons, icon links to monthly URLs of PDFs from June 2023 to May 2022.